Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris here, and welcome to another ghost video. This one might take a while to get through. I'm going to try to go through it as much as I can. There's a lot of facts, there's a lot of stuff, and honestly, it's a little bit jumbled in my memory now. It's been like 9 years since this happened, and so I might my timeline might be a little bit jumbled, but I'm going to be sharing with you just examples I had of this place I went to. Now, my dad is a jack-of-all-trades kind of guy. He worked through this company where he would pretty much go through and do whatever they needed him to do for, like, a contract man. We need you to paint this. We need you to fix the plumbing. We need you to do the electrical. We need you to build the fucking roof. We need you to do whatever, okay? My dad did anything like that. And he got called in to do a very odd job one time. I believe I think I was like 14 or 15 at the time. So I was kind of young. It was like November. We had an early winter. It was icy. It was cold. It was like 10 degrees outside. And my dad got requested to do a job from this guy who called the company Preferred Vacation Rentals. And then they transferred the job to my dad. And he was tasked with going to this property that is very old. And the guy was looking to sell it. And he wanted my dad to just take some pictures of it. He just takes some pictures of the outside of the property itself, what condition it's in right now, and he said, I remember he talked to my dad directly on the phone. The guy said, so yeah, do all that, take these, I want you to print out the photos and send them to me instead of emailing them. He wanted my dad to send the photos to him. So, and he said, alright, so take pictures of the outside, anything you can find, I want as many photos as you can. And one thing though, he said, you can take pictures of the inside of the house from the windows, but do not go inside the house. Do not go inside the house. He made it abundantly clear to stay out of the house. So my dad's like, fuck, I don't care, whatever. So I go with my dad, and we went there a total of 2 times. The first time we went there, we were taking a bunch of pictures. We were looking at the house. It's like, I wish I had a picture of it. Like, if I could find like a Google map of the house or something, I would. Maybe I can ask my mom. I can figure it out. Maybe during the editing, if I have some pictures going along, that means I found some. If I don't, then I didn't, unfortunately. But try to imagine the best I can. It's just like a big house. The house must have been 2-3 floors. It was mostly a square-shaped house, but it was very oddly designed, okay? So the front of the house was pretty flat. There was the main house, and then there was a little added-on shed kind of thing attached to the side of the house that was once an exit door, okay? And the front of the house had a couple windows that I can remember, and I remember looking inside some of the windows. There was a whole lot of rooms. There was a big living room, and the living room had a small, like, mesh gate, like a metallic mesh that went over the windows. This was the only room that had these bars on the window, okay? And inside that, the living room was completely full of crap. There was a couch in there. There was a whole bunch of stuff. Just looked like someone was living in there, but it was kind of cluttered, like a hoarder was living in there. But this is the only room that had this much stuff and that actually looked alive, okay? We took some pictures of that room and moved on to another. We took pictures of the outside of the house. This house literally had a grain mill in the back of it. It had horse stables, it had a grain mill, had a whole lot of stuff. So we did like circles around the house, taking pictures and stuff. And there was another room that on the bottom floor that had a staircase that went to the wall and then turned and went up the stairs. You couldn't see it going up the stairs. It went up, hit the wall, and then you could tell it went turned and went back this way to go upstairs. And in that room was just a staircase, a closed door that went to another mysterious room, and then a chair just sitting in the middle facing the window. We're like, that's fucked up. So we take pictures of it, whatever. We go around and some of the information we got about this house, remember, it's the middle of winter, and the house has apparently been like shut down. It has no water going to it, it has no electricity, it's all been shut off and whatever have you for like a year or two. Completely shut down. So we found the power box on the side of the house that usually has the reading, like the numbers will be flashing saying like that's getting current and stuff. And as far as I know, those are blank, especially after like this much time has passed. Where it's been shut down, it's not getting electricity, it's off the grid essentially, and it shouldn't have any numbers displayed. But as I got close to it, like kind of recording on my phone at the time, it displayed some numbers. And like, I back up and then the numbers would go away. I get close and the numbers would appear again. But there were like numbers and letters. I don't know, small little detail, kind of weird, okay? Then we're going around the house, we see the gray mill, and I wish I had this footage, man. I recorded on like my old LG phone that had like the T flip, you know, that old one. It was the phone in Iron Man 1, okay, that Tony Stark had. His phone flipped to the side. I had that phone, and I was recording with it, and I recorded up in the grain mill. It was really like full of holes. It was like really dangerous looking, like it could collapse. And we're like, that's so cool. It's like, it's so quiet. There's no other houses around. It's like on top of a hill in the middle of the woods, right? It's middle of the day. Actually, it's probably like 11 a.m., 12 in the afternoon. So we get the windmill here. We go all the way around to the other side of the house. And as we get to the other side of the house, like an easy 150 feet away from the windmill, we hear, boom! We hear like a big kang, metallic clang that came from the windmill. And we're like, not the windmill, sorry. That came from the grain mill. We're both like, and I had that sound clip on my phone in that video that's been gone for like 7 years. I haven't had it in a long time, but you could hear the in the distance, and we're like, you hear us react, like, what the hell was that? It's like, and I like turned and looked at the grain mill, and it's exactly where I pinpointed exactly from in there. Like, that was weird. Okay, go around the back of the house, and there's like, I don't know how to fully describe it, but it's like, all right, I decided I'm going to draw real quick, okay? So this is going to be from a top-down view of the house, okay? And this is not going to be super to scale, but you guys, just so you guys have a general idea. Okay, so real quick, this is just kind of an idea, okay? So this is the top-down of the house, okay? It's not perfect, I know, but just imagine this is top-down of the house, and this is that little shed. This is the front of the house where we pulled in, okay? This is that little shed that I said. This is the front right here. The rooms were kind of like that. This is the room with the staircase and the chair in the middle. And this is like where the living room was. And this goes on much more that way. Like I said, it's a pretty big house. But just for a simple frame reference, the the grain mill was like way over here. We circled around the house and we ended up behind here. Now this little section of the house, okay, has this is the little porch on the corner. And then there's like a little alley that literally goes here and leads to a complete dead end. Okay, that alley goes completely to a dead end, and there's a window right here that's looking into a single room. Actually, no, sorry, that's looking into like the back of the living room. Okay, this is a window. All right, and then this is the shed, like I said. So we go up in here, all right, and we look in through the window. We hit the dead end. We're like, okay, that's weird. We're taking pictures of it. So we look into the window, and we see the window is I believe it was looked like a fist went through it, just like a hole in the middle of the window. And the window was very old. You could tell it was dusty, it was moldy, it was gross, and it had been there for a long time. The window had a hole, like looked like it was punched through it, and on the floor it had like one of those doors, like a basement door that opened up from the floor and went out like that, kind of like a bulkhead, except there was a single wooden door, and it was closed, sitting in the middle, like sitting there adjacent to the window. You looked in the window, right there on the floor was a bulkhead door that went downstairs. For no reason. It was like the middle of it was like the edge of the living room, okay? And in this window where the hole was smashed, it looked like it had been smashed for a long time, there was a bottle of rat poison in the window, okay? Now, we take pictures of that, we're like, that's weird, okay? So we take pictures of it, and the rat poison in the window, and the bulkhead door, and then we move along. We go back around the house, we go back around over here to the shed, and then we're like, okay, I think that's good for now. We got a few pictures, whatever. So we get them on the camera, we head home. We're going over the photos that night, and I noticed that in my video that I recorded back in the living room, I saw that there was like, in one of like a freeze frame, that there looked like to be a face in the couch. And it's a leather couch, so it very possibly could have been just the way the lighting was, but it looked like an old, I'm getting chills, it looked like an old dude's face, just like imprinted into the couch. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That's so weird. In the room with the chair and the stairs, this is very bizarre. Like I said, it was winter, and we took pictures of the room, and the left side wall, okay? From looking into the room, the left side wall was like, in the photo, was half bleeding in, was like, kind of like somebody messed with like transparent Photoshop, but there was like trees. There were birch trees phasing into the wall. And, well, that's weird because there are no birch trees on that side of the house at this property. It's like, okay, that's weird. Maybe just something went wrong with taking a picture of the camera. Maybe just, like, two photos were combined. But, like I said, the only thing on this memory card was pictures of this house, and there were no birch trees on that property. So again, another what the hell is that? That's bizarre. There was another room next to, I forgot to mention, there was another room with the chair and the stairs that had the walls bleeding in birch trees. Then the living room, and then another room on the other side of the living room. On the other side of the living room was another empty, completely empty room except for like a basket in there, like a wicker basket was on the floor, and I think like a couple pieces of paper or something. And in that room there was, again, a different image bleeding into this photo. It was phasing in from like the corner of the room, and it was that of like an old 1800s like big, bulky stone fireplace, like not even like nice chiseled square. It was just, it looked like a forgery, just kind of inserted into the corner of the room. But like, what the hell is that? Like that's not in that room. That doesn't even exist in that house. What the hell? How is that possible? We're looking at that, and all these pictures are just baffling us. And we get to the grand revelation where we look into the window. Sorry, we look at the picture with the window, the rat poison, the hole in the window, the rat poison, and then the bulkhead door. In the photo, we took the picture with those things: the broken window, the rat poison, and the basement, the bulkhead door. In the photo, everything was fine except the bulkhead door was open in the photo. It was closed when we took it. We didn't go inside the house. Nobody was inside the house. And it was a photo. And the door was open in the photo, and it was just blackness. There was nothing poking out. There's nothing weird besides what obviously it was, but it was just a black hole. We're like, that was, what? We start printing some stuff out, and we're looking at all the photos as we're printing them out, and just as they're coming out printed, how they show up on the files. And seriously, it's like 9 p.m., and my dad gets a house call. My dad gets a call on his cell phone from the dude who's having this job, who's having my dad do this job, the guy who's trying to sell the house. And he calls him, he said something like, "So did you get pictures of the house? Just checking in." And my dad's like, "Yeah, we got some photos, but some of them aren't very good. I think something might be wrong with my camera or something like that." He says, "I don't know how many good ones we have. There's some weird photos in here." He's like, "I think you're going to want to see them." And the guy's like, "No, it's okay. Whatever you have, just send them to me after we're all done. If you didn't get enough photos, you can go back tomorrow. Actually, you know what? Go back tomorrow. Take some more photos and see what else you can get. And so we're like, I guess we're gonna go back tomorrow and take some more photos. And I was excited, like, I'm going. I'm skipping school today. We're going. So I go with my dad the next day, and so we looking around. Everything looks the same, whatever have you. Nothing in the chair is still there. There's no fireplace in the room. But we seriously, the first thing we do is we go around to the back of the house and we check that broken window with the rat poison. I swear, dude, I swear. We went back there. The window was completely intact. And it was not a new window. I'm telling you, this window was dusty, old. It was warped. This is old. It's not, manufactured like it is today. This was like handmade glass. That thing looked like it was never touched. But obviously aged. Okay? It was completely never broken. And the rat poison was gone and the door was closed. And we get back there and I'm like, alright, let's check it out. Remember, like I said, this thing is in like this little weird, this thing's in like this little weird dead end corner. That's the window I'm talking about. And rat poison completely gone. That rat poison looked like it was from Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it was brown, murky. It was like, it had been there for seriously like 40 years. And it was just like, the window's fine. The window was never broken. We have photos of the window being broken. We're like, oh, what in the, like, what the fuck, dude? We are losing our mind. Like, this is awesome and terrifying. So we go around to the front of the house after all that, after having our minds blown. And my dad looks at the shed. It's like a red, like deep, brownish red. That is the entire color of the shed. My dad's looking in it, and he sees that, like, this is the door, okay? And the door is kinked in like that, okay? So you're looking at it, you're looking at the door straight ahead, and the door is kind of kicked inward at the top corner. The top corner is not attached fully. So my dad he's like, I'm going in that house. Completely illegal. He's like, I'm going in that house. He doesn't kick down the door or anything like that, but he does manage to go top down a little bit and squeeze himself in there. And he gets inside. It's like an old work shed, okay? He gets in there. It's all dark and dusty, and he's like, he coughs for a second because like literal dust puffs up. And I'm standing outside just like shivering because it's cold, it's winter. And he's like, holy shit! I'm like, what's up? And he's like, he's like, Chris, you have to see this. So I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm going in too. So I crawl in the top with him and I get inside. I'm like, what's up? He points a flashlight to the corner. In the corner of that room is the fucking fireplace that appeared in the photo. The fireplace, just sitting there, but the fireplace was completely, like, surrounded by junk, like boxes and bent. What the fuck? It's completely surrounded by boxes, benches, and just a whole bunch of shit was just surrounding it that didn't appear in the photo, but just the fireplace appeared in the photo. And this thing's chilling in the corner. We're like, what in the hell is going on in this house? So, my dad took a picture of that. He took like one flash photo on his phone of that. He's like, we're getting the hell out of here. This is fucked up. So we get out of the house, and we didn't even take that many more photos, to be honest. We just like revisited the place, essentially. And so he prints out the rest of the photos, and they all appeared how they were in the photo. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Nothing else was clipping into different photos. But, so my dad gets a hold of the guy again, and he says, the guy has the instructions of just print out all the photos you have and just give them to Preferred Vacation Rentals, and then they'll send them out to me. So my dad's like, alright, prints them all out, gets them in like a big manila envelope, drops them off at the place, and then my dad's just sitting home like a couple days later. He's just sitting there. And we're still talking about this house. We were talking about, like, man, I'd love to stay in a haunted house. He's like, I want to sleep in that house. I want to break in there, sleep in that house, whatever. And then he's like, you know what? He's like, I just can't let this go. So he actually is like, my dad calls the guy again. He tries to call him, and the number is completely disconnected. Just completely not active anymore. We're like, well, that's supposed to be, like, his business, his contact number for getting his photos done and everything. This was supposed to be his primary number. There was no other number given, and the dude just doesn't exist anymore. No phone, no way to contact him. And my dad asked him about the photos. He said that, yeah, they sent it out to whatever address that was, like, apparently multiple states away, and hasn't heard from the guy since. And that's really it, guys, for this video. Definitely one of the coolest and creepiest experiences I've had in my life when it comes to creepy ghost stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. More videos here. More videos, more scary stuff right here. I keep looking at myself in the camera. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm too pretty.